Virgin Islands National Park by Amelia Centeno. Location: the Virgin Islands National Park is located on St. John Island, the third largest of approximately 50 other more minuscule cays and islands that make up the Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands are a chain of organized and unincorporated island territories of the United States off the coast of Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. So here you can see the park boundaries of St. John, since not all of the islands are a national park, only St. John and a few cays that are a part of it or near it. Establishment: the Virgin Islands were established in the year 1956 on August 2nd by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. When first established, the 5,000-acre piece of land that is now part of the Virgin Islands National Park was originally donated by Lawrence Rockefeller. He donated this piece of land to the National Park Service through a non-profit organization called Jackson Hole, Inc. As the years went on, after having been officially established as a national park, the boundaries of it grew to cover over half of the island, along with a few other cays and islands that surround it. In total, there's approximately 12,708 acres of federally owned land that is administered by the National Park Service. The reason for the establishment was to protect submerged lands, protect scenic views unlike any other, coral reefs, mangrove habitats that are crucial for biodiversity of the Caribbean, and protect associated marine resources around the island. Okay, the national park takes up about 60% of the land on St. John Island, approximately 7,259 acres of terrestrial habitat. Along with that, there are approximately 5,650 acres of submerged adjacent lands that are also part of the national park. Since all of Virgin Islands are United States territories, all of the national park is federally owned by the United States, including any submerged areas that are within the park's boundaries. Okay, so right over here you can see another one of the maps that show the area, like the boundaries of the national park. This is just a simple diorama that will show you the main area. So, and I'm going to play this video just so you can get a general sense, and I'll stop it around halfway and you can watch the rest on your own time.
Virgin Islands National Park. From Florida's languid coast, America's islands loop gracefully into the velvety waters of the Caribbean Sea. In these sparkling waters rises Virgin Islands National Park. Sheltered on St. John's, the smallest of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and including a few isolated sites on the neighboring island of St. Thomas, much of the park harbors history going back 1,000 years on only 7,000 plus acres. Virgin Islands National Park guards the isle's unspoiled beauty. Beaches, once known to pirates, sparkle with luxury resorts. Inlets where galleons flying the Skull and Crossbones once moored are now ports of call for cruise ships and their sun-starved passengers.
Okay, so history of park. In the late 1600s, St. John was occupied by Danes, where they planted sugarcane and created plantations. Along with the building of plantations, they brought workers, slaves, from Africa to work on these plantations. In 1733, the slaves staged a rebellion that caused the Danish to flee the island. The English took charge of the three main islands in the years to come, and slavery was abolished. With slavery being abolished, sugarcane production dropped, and the economy at that. A huge cause of this was the slave uprisings that were taking place in the years beforehand. The United States began showing interest in the three main islands in the Civil War period, but never made the $7.5 million purchase due to the Senate denying its approval. It was during World War I that the United States decided to strategically control the main passage to the Caribbean to the Panama Canal. Denmark was willing to sell to avoid being conquered by any opposing countries in the war. The Virgin Islands became an unincorporated American territory in the year 1917 for $25 million. The Treaty of Cession promised residents of the Virgin Islands American citizenship unless they decided to keep Danish citizenship. There have never been any native tribes that inhabit the island. Slaves that started the rebellion and stayed on the island are now the inhabitants of these islands, and they are now referred to as Virgin Islanders. In 1956, St. John became a national park. Since then, it has been a tourist attraction and a safe haven for many species and ecosystems. The national park stands on a volcanic island with underwater and terrestrial mountain ranges, plentiful coral reefs, stunning bays, crystal clear beaches, valleys, and subtropical dry forests. Many archaeological discoveries have been made on the national park, such as the discovery of petroglyphs at reef bays. Oopsies. Fauna, flora, and weather and climate. Fauna, wildlife, inhabitants. The national park has over 140 species of birds, 202 species of fish, 7 species of amphibians, and 22 species of mammals. The island only has one native mammal species, and that is the bat. These bats serve for pollination, seed dispersion, and insect population control. Any other mammal species you see are not native to the island. These include goats, sheep, deer, monkey, cats, dogs, mongoose, and pigs. Endangered species. Some endangered species that are on the island are the West Indian manatee, Virgin Island trebo, which is this one right here, the St. Croix ground lizard, which is this one, and the green sea turtle, which is this one right here. So, flora. And native species. Some native species that inhabit an island are all of these. I can't really say those because they're in Latin, but you can read them and look them up. So, endangered species. Some endangered species on the island include St. Croix agave, which is this one, and the Solanum conocarpum, which is this one. Okay, weather. The weather on the Virgin Island National Park largely relies and is shifted by the trade winds. It can typically be described as hot, oppressive, windy, and partly cloudy. It is typically always described as hot and humid. The overall climate of the Virgin Island National Park is warm and consistent. Temperatures do not drop below 71 degrees Fahrenheit and do not rise above 93. And here you can see a graph of the usual, like a yearly model of what the temperatures are like throughout the month, sorry. And this is another one. Environmental threats and conservation. So environmental threats. As climate change progresses, the possibility of tropical storms such as hurricanes, typhoons, and floods are more common. All these storms pose a huge threat to the Virgin Islands. Climate change can also affect the weather, air quality, and the food chain. All these factors affect and change the ecosystems throughout the national park. Global warming also threatens the coral reef surrounding the Virgin Islands National Park, for they are being bleached by the rise of acidity in the waters. Conservation. As far as conservation goes, having St. John Island be a national park is a whole conservation effort, for it protects the island as a whole, and all the ecosystems throughout the island. NPAC works to protect coral reefs surrounding the national park by stopping developers from constructing two different marinas that will lead to contamination in the water and disrupt the ecosystem more than what is necessary. By not allowing the construction of these marinas, we not only are protecting coral reefs but also thousands of species that live on them and migrate to the islands, such as green sea turtles, black-tip sharks, brown pelicans, and humpback whales. Visitation and activities. Tourism on the Virgin Island National Park is restricted due to a need to protect the national habitat in the national park. The national park is open year-round for tourism and never closes unless for safety reasons. All touristic activity is monitored and assures the safety of the ecosystems. Even though there is no true limit on touristic capacity, Virgin Islands National Park is never packed with tourists. Pre-planning is encouraged before going to the national park. Although visitation and tourism is allowed on the national park, it is unlike other touristic islands as there are no luxurious resorts. If you choose to go to St. John, expect to see nature's raw beauty and to not be confined by the resort lifestyle. There are many activities available for people to enjoy on St. John. Some of these activities include snorkeling, abandoned plantation tours, ranger-guided tours, boating in the park, many hike trails, and programs to help you better your knowledge of Virgin Islands National Park. So here you can see a picture of snorkelers looking at a sea turtle. This is a hike that you can take, and this is a video of some hikers, but you can watch that later on. Nope.
Right, we're still at Virgin Islands.
Do that. Okay, next one. Importance of the park. Based on my own EVS, I believe that Virgin Islands National Park should continue to be protected and conserved because of the unique ecosystem that it keeps afloat. The amount of ecosystems in the national park are much more valuable than what most people realize. This national park is home to thousands of unique species, and the loss of these species would be devastating. Not only do they hold value in uniqueness and importance, but the history of the Virgin Islands National Park is also another one of its valuable assets. The history of the national park is rich and long, making it such an important part of American history. Existence values are important to me because although merely existing might not hold too much value to other people, to me existing means so much more. By this island merely existing, thousands of species have a place to call home, and the world has another beautiful ecosystem that it is truly lucky to have. Okay, so this is my works cited. Yeah.